Oh, my goodness. Hi, I am Beth Garrigan, the CEO of Safe Berks. Some pretty powerful stuff we heard tonight. I'm feeling emotional and proud, very proud. So I want to say thank you to Robin for visiting us today. She did come to Safe Berks, like she said, and she took a tour, and she got to meet our staff, and they're the ones doing the work and saving the lives, and I'm glad she got to see that firsthand. And Andy, very well-deserved award. Congratulations, and thank you for sharing with us. I also want to give a heartfelt thank you to our staff and our board members. We wouldn't be here tonight without you. And I feel that we have just an amazing team of advocates, and I'm proud that they are by my side every day in this important work. And all of you, thank you for being here, for supporting us. We couldn't do what we do without every single one of you. And like you heard Robin say, it's spreading the word. It's okay to talk about it. It's important. So please take that with you when you leave tonight. Next year, Safe Berks will celebrate our 50-year anniversary. "50 years is pretty amazing. And sadly, this past September, we lost one of our founding mothers, Judge Linda Ludgate. I unfortunately did not get to know her as well as I would have liked to, but I have to share that during COVID, she reached out to me, and much like her time at Berks Women in Crisis, offered her home as a safe place for survivors if we needed that, if the shelter was full. And I can tell you that is one of the most profound mission moments in my career, and one I will always remember. While we have a lot to celebrate with the upcoming 50-year anniversary, it is slightly overshadowed by the fact that we are losing in 2026 one of our grants that does support prevention education in the classroom, and a pretty big reduction in some of our major funding for our direct care services. But we are continuing on and tirelessly looking for new grant opportunities, doing things like this to bring in revenue, really focusing on some diverse revenue streams. And one of those that I wanted to share with you tonight is something that we launched recently, a fee-based sexual harassment in the workplace training that's available to any Berks County employer. So far, we have gotten very positive feedback, and we have staff that are eager to get out there and help some of you train your staff. So if you're interested, please let us know, and we can help get that set up for you. We've also continued focusing on building new and strengthening existing partnerships. Stacey's going to share a little bit of information and some highlights about that with you shortly. And we continue to address the barriers that exist that keep people from seeking services or actually receiving services. One such barrier you've probably heard about if you follow our social media is addressing the need for survivors with pets in finding emergency shelter. Thankfully, with the help of Dolan Construction and the amazing Greater Good Charities and Rescue Rebuild team, and several of our community partners that we have listed on the screen, we were able to have 3 rooms that are specifically designed to accommodate survivors with pets. This has been in the works for 4 years, and we are in the home stretch of making it a reality. According to the ASPCA, 71%, and that's my fur baby on the screen right now. According to the ASPCA, 71% of pet-owning women entering domestic violence shelters reported that their abuser threatened, harmed, or killed their family pet. We know that after an abusive event, the family pet can provide comfort and is sometimes the only support system a survivor may have as they're making the choice to seek safety. The bonds between people and their pets can cause hesitation to leave an abusive home out of fear of leaving their pet behind. Concern over the safety of a pet can delay domestic violence victims from seeking help and can be a reason why they return to their abuser. The story you're going to hear tonight is an example of this and why we needed to address it.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Stacey Jordan, and I'm the Chief Program Officer at Safe Berks. In April of 2024, I started overseeing and providing support to several of our direct service departments, including our emergency shelter, crisis and case management services, counseling services, and the community programming. With the knowledge, dedication, and hard work of the department directors and their staff members, we identified areas of programming we wish to continue and/or enhance for the survivors that we serve. We diligently work together to find and provide opportunities, resources, and community partners willing to assist. I'd like to share with you just a few of those exciting highlights. In 2023, due to budget restrictions, we had to cut our children's advocate position for the emergency shelter. We identified that both children's programming as well as adult programming in our shelter needed some enhancement. One of the programs that we added, Nancy Chavez from Randy's House of Angels, offered to fund a 10-week evidence-based therapeutic group for children ages 8 to 13. They provide the curriculum, all the lesson materials, and even pay our staff a stipend to implement that curriculum. The programming is open not only to children that are living in our shelter, but also any child in our community who has experienced domestic violence. With the assistance of Reading School District and the BCIU, we are launching a revised Ready to Read program. Staff members are also offering weekly homework help sessions for the children living in our shelter. We currently are offering a 6-week evidence-based child sexual abuse prevention program, not only for the children, but also for the parent or supportive caregiver. Weekly fun and educational activities are also available to the families residing in the shelter. Our staff hold weekly survivor support groups, employment and other financial empowerment workshops, and community meetings offering life skills, positive affirmation, and supports for the folks that are living in the shelter. In partnership with the Council on Chemical Abuse, our male engagement and community response specialist, a new position created as a direct result of last year's celebration of peace, holds 2 weekly drug and alcohol educational groups, provides individual assessments, and connects survivors to treatment and/or recovery services. We now offer in-house weekly educational groups on topics such as healthy relationships, self-esteem, and self-care. These are the same educational groups being provided on-site at other community partners. We hold weekly orientation meetings to assist survivors to successfully transition into community living. Finally, since COVID and our construction has been completed, we have reopened our doors to community partners like Berks Counseling Center and Community Justice Program to share how they can assist survivors, and we will continue to seek new partnerships to best meet the needs of those we serve. These are certainly not all the services that we provide or the support that we offer at Safe Berks, but none of our services would be possible without you. So many survivors come into our program with very specific needs. Many of them do not fit nicely and neatly into our grant funding. Next, you will hear from one of these survivors. When she came to Safe Berks, she faced many obstacles and barriers. When I met with her on the first evening in the shelter, I could tell she was very overwhelmed and that we needed to slow down and work to remove one barrier at a time. In that moment, the most important thing was she and her infant son were safe in our emergency shelter. However, her beloved cat was in her car. So after settling her into her room that evening, we worked on a plan to provide safety for her whole family, including her fur baby. To ensure her continued safety as she is still navigating this difficult journey, her identity is being withheld. Please join me in listening to this young mother share how Safe Berks was able to support her as she identified and addressed barriers to protect herself and her family.
Safe Berks will forever hold a sentimental place in my heart. Safe Berks was a haven for me and my family in our darkest hour. Without this resource, I would not have been able to safely leave my abuser while keeping my family intact. I've done my best to create an exit strategy, but due to the volatility of the situation, it still unfolded in chaos. I had no easy options, only difficult choices. I filed for a PFA without even $2 to my name to pay for parking, and was forced to leave my cat in the car while I filed. The judge granted a PFA for both me and my 4-month-old son, and ordered a police escort to have my ex return my baby to me. From there, I headed to Safe Berks until I had my baby in a place to lay our heads, but still completely overwhelmed with all the challenges I had to navigate. I had just started a job but had no childcare. I had no one to house my poor cat. My abuser was unwilling to let me leave with me and my son's material possessions, so I felt like I was rebuilding her life from zero. Safe Berks provided support and direction and helped me reestablish baseline stability when I felt like an absolute shell of myself. Everything I needed to conquer this pivotal new chapter was provided to me. I was able to keep my cat, my job, and was blessed with everything I needed to care for my baby. With the determination and dedication of Safe Berks Legal Department, I was granted a final PFA for 3 years. Safe Berks' commitment to safety and confidentiality helped me start to feel safe just to exist again, and slowly stop living in a constant state of fear. Healing from the trauma of domestic violence and abuse is a slow and arduous process with no set timeline. Without Safe Berks and their wonderful caring staff, I would not have known where to even begin. Having so many resources and so much support, housed in one location is a tremendous blessing to survivors who feel shattered. I am grateful to this vital, life-saving resource in our community.
Thank you.
Yes, Stacey.